If I hadn't spilled that tea, none of this would have happened.
What are you saying? That wasn't your fault, Chi. It was a giant accident. Yeah, it was any single person's fault, not at all. But it'll be okay, Chi. Come on, hang in there, yeah. This is the last mad dash.
But my job is so unimportant.
What?
All I do is paint cells all day long. It doesn't matter that I always make my deadline. Nobody expects anything out of me. All I do is paint.
But there are no jobs that are unimportant, and what you do is extraordinary.
What?
It's true, Chi! Don't you believe me? Animation is pictures that move in color with real sound and voices. Comics, novels, and paintings can't do that. Plus, you can do all sorts of things with the characters that you could never get away with doing in live-action films or videos. That's what makes animation so unique and wonderful. And it's the skills and talents of dozens of brilliant artists all working together to make it all happen. Don't you see? Animation is incredibly cool. So let's not give up now. We gotta go for the gusto. It's all a matter of studying.
Of studying?
Golden Boy is a 1995 original video animation starring the beloved protagonist Kentaro Oe, a traveling student who's out there to learn more about life wherever he goes, who has a bit of a pervy side to him, but even so, he's only human. He's only 25 years old, and I absolutely loved this anime. I fell in love with it after episode 1, after 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It was incredible. It was so funny, so well animated, and no pun intended here, but every episode is literally golden. Welcome to my first anime review. I know, it's not very common I review animes, huh? Well, or talk about them too much on my channel. I've covered One Piece before, and Dragon Ball before in videos, but I never done like a full-on review of the shows. That's gonna be tough for me to do, but I want to talk about Golden Boy and the characters and why I loved it so much, and more specifically, which episodes were my favorites. This is after my first run through watching this show. I didn't binge watch the whole thing. I started it, I think, at the end of August until now. I finished it just 2 nights ago or so, and I loved it. It was so good. I know it's only 6 episodes long. It's fairly short, and you can watch it on Crunchyroll if you're subscribed to the evil anime corporation known as Crunchyroll. But yeah, the show is great. It was so good. It's so funny. It's so funny. I highly recommend it to anyone over the age of 18 for sure. It's a very adult show, but it's kind of like innocent adult. Like nothing really terrible happens in it. Nobody gets harmed really, or no one really gets killed off or acts off. It's not a dramatic series. It's very comedy based, and it doesn't just rely on pervy humor, which I really want to touch on that in this video, because animes, a lot of people may be turned off by animes because of pervy humor, and it may be weird or wrong to them, which is understandable. It can be strange for some shows. Like look at Master Roshi, for example. It's always weird whenever he acts that way in Dragon Ball, but here in Golden Boy, it feels like it's natural to the story, natural to the comedy, natural to the situation, and it's earned and it's understandable, and it's well delivered. It's executed appropriately, however appropriately it can be, and it makes absolute sense. And there's just weird and fun and great moments that happen in the show that you would not expect, like this scene right here, when the girl in the first episode spits on Kentaro, you think it's gonna land on him, but he has his mouth open, and then she like rapidly steps on him, and it's just like the funniest thing. It's so great. I absolutely love this show. My favorite one, I think, was the third or fourth episode. I think it was the one with the ramen shop girl. That was my favorite one, when she was dating that one Yakuza guy, because that episode to me really showed Kentaro's like his most not vulnerable, but like his most caring side for sure. He wanted to help this, not just this girl, but her family out. Like they were all affected by this, and he really went above and beyond for her. And I love to see when he was like wearing that, like when they were at the horse track race, right? And he was dressed up as a giant stuffed animal. That scene was, literally speaking, I'm gonna use this word a lot, golden. And it's in the show. It's in the name of the show, golden. It's right there, and it is. This anime is golden. There's no doubt about that. I know I didn't do a whole lot of research going into this. I don't remember half of the characters' names, unfortunately. For somebody who's trying to learn more about Japanese culture and learn Japanese language, the actual language of Japanese, I can't remember Japanese names for the life of me. It depends on the character. In fact, I had to look up Kentaro's last name because I'm like, it is Oe, right? Yeah, it is Oe. Okay, I just wanted to double check. So it's not just about him, but he is the heart prime of the show. You know, it is his journey, and he's riding his bike, going through all of to different locations. I'm pretty sure it's obviously all in Japan, but it's in different locations of Japan. And in each episode, he meets a new female or just a new like variety of characters. And I was thinking, does he end up with any of them? Did things work out for him? And the ending of the series, episode 6, the finale, I don't want to spoil it, but it was very satisfactory. I was like, oh, it's going this way. We're gonna do this kind of ending. Oh, I love that. That's great. That's awesome. And yeah, it leaves you feeling good, and really, like, it also leaves you feeling really happy that you watched this, because it was just so funny. And I love anime as much as the next guy, but I want to see more animes like this one. This was literally gold speaking, and I know it's comedy based. I kind of teased at it in my Halo show parody video. I love Bobo. I used to watch it as a kid with my dad. Whenever he took me and my younger sister out, we didn't have cable TV, so we used to go out traveling and stuff. And he showed us, or no, I think it was airing on Adult Swim maybe, because it was on pretty late, or at least close to that time. But it was on, I remember now, it's around 7 p.m. That's right, because I remember now, it was. And I loved it. It was so funny. And now I'm watching the whole show, and I'm enjoying it. It's a great, great show. So, and I know Such Fog is another fan favorite comedy anime show back in the day. And there's a few others too that I want to see from the land of the rising sun. So Golden Boy is just the start of my endeavor of watching more comedic-based animes, because I do love shonens, and I do love dramatic stories, and I do love when things get serious. It's always awesome and epic when it delivers, and it has a good ending still that's satisfactory. And I'm happy to say Golden Boy definitely had that ending, and I understand that the manga goes in a very different and strange direction, and I am very new to this whole thing still. So I don't know much more about Golden Boy. I don't even know the mangaka's name yet, or the director of the anime. I have no idea. I don't even know which studio made it. I just sat down, watched it on Crunchyroll, and I fell in love with it. And I was a little familiar with it ahead of time because a friend of mine told me about it, and he was a fan of it, and he told me all about why it's great. I also am aware that people on the internet are big fans of it. So yeah, like it has a cult following for sure. I'm not part of that following. I'm not sure if Golden Boy is required to have a remake or anything like that. And it's not. No, I no, absolutely not. No, this show is beautifully hand-drawn animated. I'm probably going to show clips of it here. I'm not sure if the series is public domain or not or anything like that, but it's a really old anime that, you know, it's done. Like, I don't know if they're going to come out with a new one or what, or a sequel of this. I don't think that's necessary. If you have a Crunchyroll account and if you're an adult, I highly recommend watching this. It's really worth checking out. It's so funny, it's so clever, it's so well animated. If you're not the biggest fan of pervy humor, of course, that's completely understandable, but like, this is a good example of doing it right. Of like, if it makes you feel comfortable for whatever reason, I still think I feel like that might be more of a reason to check it out, because the reasons of why you may personally not feel comfortable with pervy humor might be because it's kind of cringy and it's kind of weird to you. This does it justifiably well. This is like the only time I've ever seen it so far, or one of the few handful of times where it makes absolute sense, and I love it, love it, love it. And I don't know if I would do it what this boy did, but I still love everything about it. It's so funny, and he comes out on top. And of course, he has a caring heart. He has a heart of gold. At the end of the day, the show is called Golden Boy, and that is Kentaro Oe. He is indeed the Golden Boy. And I absolutely loved how the last episode, the theme, the message, it was all about animation. As you saw my clip in the beginning of the video, that was like one of the most best parts in the whole anime. I felt the same way that Kentaro has felt for years about animation. That moment really spoke to me. So I was like, damn, that was a really great, beautiful moment that he said that. Wow. Like, animation is so important, and I'm so happy that they had it was just for a small moment in the anime, but yeah, wow. Like, that was like, that moment hit close to home. It did. It was so great. So sorry for the slight spoilers in the video, and I also apologize I didn't say much about it, but check it out. So well animated, so well directed, so well produced. The so well voice acted. The dub is great. I watched the dub, obviously, and it's great. And I don't know if you see my when I mentioned in my video we're talking about Sonic voice actors. I am for dub or sub. I don't really care which one it is, as long as it's good and I can enjoy it. I've seen some animes all the way through subbed. I've seen most dubbed, but most of the time the dub is pretty good, so it doesn't bother me too much. So guys, with that being said, please check out Golden Boy. I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. It's a great, perfect anime, or OVA, which OVAs usually are pretty perfect, because considering how short they are, they get produced pretty well and awesome. And I'm going to eventually talk about another one called Crying Freeman. That one's also pretty sexual, but that one's more so even sexual than this one is, even more so. So we'll get to that one day. That one's very adult compared to Golden Boy, but we'll get to it eventually. It's very epic and awesome too, though. It's not just about that, but the sex stuff. It's about like other things too going on. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. This is the Y2K Reviewer signing out. Until next time, thank you again. Take care. Go check out Golden Boy. It's Golden Boy. He's our Golden Boy. Kentaro the Golden Boy. He's gonna save the world. Maybe not. We don't know until you see the show. Golden Boy.